until it reaches some sort of stability, that cone of depression extends. But that's really the only thing I can say. You know, I can say the same thing for Love in Time. If Bill Davis lives on Love in Time, certainly he's got a concern about it. But the folks that live in Wimberley are too far away to be affected by a drawdown caused by this.
Anything else you want to add to for the record for us?
Yeah, I would, for the record, I would like to know that I personally have no objection to Mr. Backus being given standing in this matter. It's his lawful position to do so, and I believe that if the board, in their best interest, decide to err in the favour of Mr. Backus over the permit application that I've put in, then I will of course support the board, as I've always attempted to do, and I would feel that the board had done its best for the water supply in that instance. So there's no pressure from me to do any more than what you believe is correct and appropriate under the law, and if you wish to err on the side of Mr. Backus's petition, then I'm fine with that, and I don't think the members of my community would be put out by it, because we feel that we're in a true and strong position in our civil request, and this is a lot of hoo-ha over that.
Thank you. Andrew Backus, please. I just want to make sure too that everybody understands this. If you do get standing and it goes to contested case, I have a list of 6 different people that are hearing examiners, and I think all of them are based in Austin. And I looked at their fees, and it's anywhere from $1,800 to $2,200 a day, which will be split, I think, if the board agrees to, would be split between the person asking for the contested case or persons and the applicant. Just want to make sure everybody, I do have a list here, so we'll pick from this list. If you have any other questions on that.
Look, I don't want to spend money on something like that, but I haven't heard any data up here. Mark, you don't seem to get that just because somebody's been pumping at one rate and they want to triple it, that's different. I know their well has been there ever since I've lived there, but tripling the production is a significant increase. And honestly, I've got neighbors between me and them that are going to be more affected probably than I am. What I would like, since I haven't heard any signs other than Al.
No, I personally.
Al spoke in general terms, but there's been no sort of looking at any data. It's all sort of this relative accounting, and that's not, the accounting is important, but there's the rocks, the aquifer, kind of bend things around at times. If, let's say somebody's well is, they're connected to a fracture, and somebody at some distance could be really affected by a well, and somebody closer by isn't. But, so my bottom line request of where I'm going with all this is what I think would be a great idea is, again, they're asking for a big increase. Get a continuous, ask them to put in a transducer, and in my ideal world, they would put a transducer in, and they would put a transducer in a neighbor's well if the neighbor would volunteer to accept it. And then everybody, you could actually have some data, see what's going on. And so that's kind of the bottom line request. I've been out of town. I just briefly spoke to Roger this morning, and anyway, so.
My personal feeling, you have standing. I think you live close enough, you have standing. If you live farther away, if you did, I would expect you to bring someone in with you, or you would be knowledgeable enough to explain to me how the water flowed here to there, and it wouldn't just be because I think there's a fracture, it would be because I know this is here, and someone could explain that to us. But since we're not, I think within 900 feet, you're in the cone of depression, and And you're right, I understand that 100%. You send the stuff in on time, but that doesn't mean what everybody else thinks.
Well, that's right now, we're just deciding whether you have standing, there'll still be the hearing.
You know, right, once, just so everybody understands, once it goes to standing, it'll go to a hearing examiner. We won't do anything on it. The hearing examiner will hear from him. He will make a decision, bring it back to the board. We can take it and vote on it, or we can still vote on whatever we feel like we want to vote on. So just because the hearing examiner says Roger should get 30 acre feet, the board doesn't have to go with that, or if they say Roger should get 1 acre feet, the board doesn't have to go, or we could do either one. Just so everybody understands the process. And that could take up, what I've heard from our lawyer, could be 6 months to a year, depending on how far everybody tries to drag it out. But I do not want to take your right from you. If you want standing, I understand.
I got one last question.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Andrew, you're maintaining the 5 acre feet is significantly going to affect you. But
No, I'm not maintaining that.
you,
That's
5 acre feet is all we're talking about. We're talking about 5 acre feet additional pumping is all we're talking about.
You're talking about 10.
10 is what he's approved for now. He can pump 10 all day long.
He's only pumping 5 though. I realize they have a permit up to 10, but practically all they're using is 5 to 6.
Okay.
So now they want to,
Okay, so you're saying 10 acre feet, it's going to hurt you. But you approved a 258 acre permit several miles away several years ago. In fact, you were on the work committee that approved it. You and Holland. The Key Ranch Golf Course. That was brand, I know about the Key Ranch. I can assure you there were no golf course wells on the Key Ranch when I lived there. Right here, I got you.
oh, the Key Ranch, okay.
Key Ranch,
I had to,
yeah.
like, kind of think where-
75 million gallons of water a year. And that, you approved that, voted 5-0 on that. That didn't hurt you, but this, 10 acre feet, I'll call it 5, but you call it 10, you're saying it hurts you.
Is he on trial or something?
No, we are just asking, but if he wants to ask it, that's fine, but I don't, in my mind, I don't see the bearing, but that's fine. At this point, Andrew now is coming to us saying on this one well. I know what happened in the past has happened in the past.
I don't know if the geology has changed that much in 8 years.
Probably not.
What is the cone of depression on a typical well?
I don't know, but I know 75 million gallons of water is a bunch.
Any other questions? Anybody have a motion?
A motion to allow Andrew standing.
That's your motion to give him standing on this?
Sure.
All right.
Standing. Back off. I'll take the standing.
Anybody have a second?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor to give standing to the only person that showed up for the contested case permit of Radiance Water Supply Court to Andrew Backus, vote aye or nay. Aye?
Nay.
Aye. It passes 3-2. He has standing.
I make a motion to grant Mr. Q a temporary permit for 15 acre feet
I'll second. For how long?
to the duration of the contested case.
You want the duration of the
I make a
contested?
motion to give Mr. Q a 15 acre feet temporary permit for the duration of the contested case.
I'll second.
Any other comment?
I don't see the point in doing that. If anything, I think we should allow Mr. Q to continue operating under his current permit amount.
All right, any other comment?
I think I would support the 15 acre feet for the duration of the case, knowing that it really isn't going to pump that much water.
All in favor of giving Radiance Water Supply Corp. a temporary permit for 15 acre feet for the duration of the contested case?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? 4-1. All right, just some cleanup on that. There's 6 different hearing examiners. One being Tom Collins, Dean Kilgore, Sam Graham, Joe Hart, Patrick Keel, or Ken Ramirez. Does anybody have any preference?
Least expensive.
So I know you all can do a part of this. The board, I realize I think there's an option.
Yeah, there's an option.
Either going with the hearing examiner or the board can act as the hearing examiner.
My personal feeling is let a hearing examiner do it, so we don't run into that we didn't do something right and that we've cheated you, Radiance Water, whoever. I just want to do it right. The hearing examiner can come back and say he should get 12 feet or whatever the hearing examiner wants to say, 1 million feet. And then we'd have something to look at. Any objections to any of these 6 people?
Maybe we should talk about it.
Hearing none, I'll make a motion that the 2 sides decide to use either Tom Collins, Dean Kilgore, Sam Graham, Joe Hart, Patrick Keel, or Ken Ramirez, and I'll give you this list and phone numbers with these people. They do have a, do I have a second on that? Second. I have looked at their websites, and they have a calendar. We do get to get on what days they can see you, and it's all based on, it looks like either full day, they do have some half days if you go over so many hours. They do also request a deposit, so everybody understands that.
Both us and.
No, we have nothing, we're out.
Is there a time frame that this has to happen? I mean, we're not just gonna sit here.
No, first we're doing this.
No, I mean,
Yeah, but first, let's vote on this. All right. All in favor of that list that is read? Aye. All right, I'd also like to make a motion that the applicant and Andrew Backus, within the next month, schedule a time for this hearing, and with somebody on that list, and if not, to come back in front of this board and ask for more time. Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Wait, whoa.
No.
Roger's going out of town. He's going to England for a Thursday.
Well, then they can-
Does he may want to come ask for more time?
He's going to be for long in 3 days.
you won't even be here to ask. You won't even be here to ask. More time.
When are you leaving, Roger?
I leave on the 30th of this month. I'll be back on the 1st of August.
So can we extend it to 2 months?
If someone will ask us, would you like to ask us to change it to 2 months?
If you would, please, sir. If you would change the time frame for us to have appointed, got on the calendar of a district hearing judge within the next 2 months, and to report that date to the board.
You make a motion for that, Ed?
Yeah. I move that the parties, Roger Q and Andrew Backus, within the next 60 days, notify the board of a hearing and the individual they selected from the list.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Excuse me,
Yes, sir.
I'm a little confused.
Yes, sir.
Because we talk about a contested case, but what case is being contested? For
Radiance Water
example,
Supply.
the board has not voted as to whether to give Radiance 15 or not give Radiance 15. There's been no decision made by you. There's no recommendation,
No, he-
but there's no decision. Is that correct?
Yes, you brought up a pretty good point there.
So,
You sure did.
you know, I don't know what we're fighting about yet. We vote to fight, but
We can't vote. The way I was told by the lawyer, it is now going to contested case. We can't vote to give them a permanent allocation of water due to the fact it wants to go to contested case. The way our rules are written, once we vote, then they have a permit. And I know what you're saying, it didn't make sense to me either, but
you know, if he's contesting that it's 15, after you discuss it, and you decide it's 14 and a half, you know, is it still being contested? And I don't know that answer. It seems to be a vacuum.
the way the lawyer explained it to me is once it's been asked to go to contested, and once we've given them standing, which we've given them standing, it's based on the 15 acre feet that he asked for. That's what he's contesting, the 15 acre feet. So we had a motion to give him 15 acre
No,
feet.
not just the 15 acre feet, the permit.
The permit, 15 acre feet, 3 years.
It's a 3, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
whatever, but the permit that was presented to us, Mr. Backus contested. He may not be contesting the 15 acres, he may be contesting the 3 years. So the attorney told us, or told me not to have us vote on a permanent permit, but our rules do allow us to vote for a temporary permit while they're going through the contested case. So I don't, what you said I thought we should always vote, and then they know what you're contesting, but they are contesting right now, 15 acre, 3 year permit. We also need to make a motion that the cost be split for the hearing examiner and all court costs associated with the hearing examiner between the two parties. Equally, split equally, 50-50. All in favor? Aye. Anything else that needs to go on this one that we can think of that I possibly forgot? All right, that is now,
Is it possible for them to renegotiate amongst themselves and come back to the board before that time period?
yes. Yeah, it is possible, but they have to, they don't have, right now, I believe it's going to contested case. But even during the contested case, if they want to quit, I'm sure they can write a letter to us saying, we've had all we want and we're out. And also, I'll make a motion that if a deposit is not, if the hearing examiner does not receive his funds from either party, somehow they put them, I'm trying to think how because the hearing examiner had put on some of their websites, if they don't receive their funds from one of the parties, that they don't make a decision. And I'm not trying to, I don't know how to, I guess just for general knowledge, if you don't pay, I don't believe the hearing examiner listens. and we, so everybody knows, this board or this organization, Hayes Tree and Groundwater Conservation District, is not funding this contested case. All right, pre-hearing conference item B, Goldenwood West Water Supply Corp. Contesting permit. Board to hear contested submittals concerning renewal permit for Golden West Water Supply Corp. Contesting permit, Jim McMeans. Anybody here to speak for Jim McMeans? All right, not hearing none, I make a motion to not give standing to Jim McMeans. All in favor? Aye. I also make a motion to approve Golden West Water Supply Corp's permit.
Second.
It was presented to us, which is
3 years, 60 acre feet, which is just an increase of years.
3 years, 60 acre feet. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
All right.
1 acre 6.
4 to 1. All right, Pre-hearing conference, board to hear contested case submittals concerning renewal permit for item C, interim La Ventana LLC renewal permit, contesting permit, Roberta Shoemaker Beal. Roberta Shoemaker Beal. Anybody here to speak for Roberta Shoemaker Beal? Hearing none, I make a motion not to give standing to Roberta Shoemaker Beal.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Interim La Ventana LLC renewal permit. Board to hear contested case submittals concerning renewal permit. Contested case, Jim McMeans. Jim McMeans, would like to speak? Anybody here to speak for Jim McMeans? Hearing none, I make a motion not to give Jim McMeans standing. All in favor? Aye. Interim La Ventana LLC renewal permit. Board to hear contested case submittals concerning renewal permit for interim La Ventana LLC renewal permit. Bill Davis. Bill Davis, are you still contesting it?
I am.
Okey-dokey. You solemnly swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Why do you think you have standing? And what would you, to go to contested case? And you've heard me speak to the other people, let them know the cost that would be involved and everything else.
Yes, this is true. Well, first of all, I live in the La Ventana subdivision. I own property in the La Ventana subdivision, and my family homestead for myself and my first wife are in La Ventana. I am protesting for a very different reason than what the other protesters who did show up were protesting. I'm not convinced that the correct permittee has been identified. And it does, I am particularly affected by this. We've been in litigation with the developer number 1, developer number 2, and developer number 3 on this property. Historically, La Ventana and people that have lived in there have suffered from one developer holding another developer over a barrel for water. Developer number 1 sold land interest to developer number 2 and then refused to provide water and essentially extorted money by not providing water to get more money to sell the water company and everything else. Developer number 2 did the same thing to its lender, which is effectively now developer number 3. Developer number 3 is in the process, they've applied to gain some interest in the water company, but what interest that is the subject of an ongoing contested case hearing at Htgcd. And I'd like to, I happen to have this back, it's my only copy of it this time. As a part of that contested case hearing, we all get served with papers that go back and forth between the parties. I'd like to point out to the board that at best, interim has an application to acquire the CCN. There's a buyer and a seller. That's a recent letter. This process is still going on. And the problem is the CCN holder is La Ventana Water Company, LP, not interim La Ventana. And given the history that has occurred with this whole process, yes, I am concerned about being held over a barrel by another entity, interim La Ventana. The name should tell you that it's not going to stick around very long, okay? I'm concerned about being held over a barrel or being a pawn in this game of people who controls the water, holding back when who needs it. So I do believe I am directly affected. As I stated before, I'm a part of the contested case hearing. I'm a property owner out there. I live out there.